Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast, the only podcast where soup lives do matter. Today we're discussing the penultimate episode of Gen V's very, very fun first season. And joining me once again, please don't ask them why they're currently going back on their Sam takes. It's Bolu and TMT. How are you guys doing? You guys were
We're
supporting it.
good. We're alive. Okay,
You
we're
know, this
alive. How
show
are you,
isn't
TMT?
this show isn't what I thought it was.
And what did you think it was?
I thought it was um like um Teen Titans.
The cartoon
It's no like oh you have the
or the
Justice League,
comics?
so let's give Teen
Oh,
Titans a show, like a younger
okay.
version of but it's a true tie-in. It's like truly just part of the
Yeah.
cinematic universe that this show
Universe.
occupies space in. It's a very specific thing, and it tells a story that is very important in the universe. It stands on its own. If Gen V was just a show without the boys, it would be a great fucking show. And I didn't think it was that initially. I thought it was just a good show that happened to be a spin-off, and I was
Mm-hmm.
wrong. But yeah, I'm
A
good,
bit
man. How are
early
you
in the
guys?
episode for you to be dropping in mea culpa. So I like the energy of what this episode did.
Yeah.
Before we
Mm.
go anywhere, guys, is This Cinema is Back, our sister film podcast on this feed. At the point at which you're listening to this, they've done an episode on the Taylor Swift concert film, Eras Tour, that was as their last week. And this week they also spoke about Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. So please check out both episodes. We are also doing Low Key on this feed. We're going to start Invincible next week. So you have a week to catch up on the season. And also the Atom Eve special. God, I realized that lots of people didn't know about that special. So yeah, there's an Atom Eve special on Amazon Prime. Go watch that.
It's very
TMT,
good.
any podcast? It is very good. Any podcast you want to plug before we go into Gen V?
Problem Man is back soon. Well, I'm just cutting a teaser trailer and an actual trailer, but it's back and it's brilliant. Also, my cufflinks, I just took my cufflinks off and they look like Thor's hammer, kind of, right? It's weird.
I see it.
They
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually did look like those. Anyway, Bolu, anything you want to plug?
Not really.
Bolu, wait, no, actually, no, that's not true. Because I saw, I should have written it down. You wrote something recently.
Oh, yeah, his new sex tape is out.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
No. Did I write anything recently? Um.
I'll find it and I'll link it. I feel like you wrote something recently. Because I remember looking at it.
Oh,
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I just checked
I
my
don't know
phone.
where.
It's his old sex tape. It's not his old sex tape. Never mind.
And how do you know it's the old one?
I've checked the timestamp on when it
Oh,
was
okay.
posted.
He's
Yeah.
he's a bit obsessed with me.
Yeah, I thought you were tracking
Sadly.
maybe like how his body has looked over time, which probably be more in line with you. Okay, let's talk about Gen V. So I know we want to go straight to the end, which is where I'm sure we'll spend most of our time, but let's be good podcasters and like actually talk about some important things before we get there. This is Gen V season 1, episode 7, the penultimate episode titled Sick, written by Chelsea Great and directed by Shayna Stein. Um I felt like this was like the manipulations episode, if that makes sense. That was like felt like
Mo-
a subtext
More
I was
like
going through
Chelsea
here.
the
You have
Great and Shayna, I stand you because the writing was amazing.
okay. Well, if you say so, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean Victoria and Marie. There was a bit of manipulations there. You have Shetty and Kate. You have it even seemed like the superhero kids were trying to like manipulate Sam as well, and it just seemed like everybody was doing their own version of, and obviously it ends with the big one of
Hmm.
Marie and Kate at the end. Can we start with the Shetty and Grace Mallory scene? So we get like it's our
Uh,
first real The Boys cameo. Obviously, you can't really count Soldier Boy from last week because that was not the real Soldier Boy. Um, and we see that Shetty is meeting with Grace Mallory, who we know from The Boys, CIA. She basically butchers Handler. What? I have a question for you guys. Excuse me. Would Shetty be a hero if she was a character on The Boys? And I don't mean hero as in like super like Captain America, Superman, or whatever. I mean, as in, like, would we be rooting for her? Because like you alluded to last week, TMT, but like she's doing what the boys want to do, right? Like
It's
she's
kind
doing
of
what
it's kind of like it's kind of like frame. You know, I don't think she does what they want to do. It's also kind of like narrative framing.
she does,
Yeah.
what Butcher would definitely wants to do.
No, I don't think Butcher wants all of them dead. Butcher just
You
wants
don't
one
think
of
Butcher
them
wants to
dead.
kill all the superheroes?
No, I don't
No,
think he
but
wants to kill all of them.
Butcher
No,
hates all the superheroes, but he wants to kill Homelander. And
Do you think if Butcher had the chance to go all superheroes die, that you have that choice, he would take it?
nah, because
no.
he likes
He likes who?
his
Give me
He's
one
not.
stepson.
He's
superhero that he likes.
Homelander's son.
Before, okay, I feel like that's, yeah, but like before he knew Ryan existed.
Well, it has to be Butcher now. It can't be Butcher then because this is happening. The timeline wise, it's Butcher. It's Butcher now.
I think you guys are
Also,
giving. I think you guys are giving Butcher a lot of credit. I think Butcher will at least consider it.
he would consider it definitely. He would consider it. He would think. He would like. He would be close. But the thing
Hmm.
about Butcher is, and I think that's where, like, a big part of why, even though he's a terrible human, the rest of the boys like him is he's a soldier. All these guys are soldiers. They are not generals. They are not in a room coming up with schemes.
Hmm.
They are soldiers. So Mallory, in my opinion, if Butcher was in Mallory's position, she would probably do it. He would probably do it if he was in her position. But
It was
Butcher
Shetty's
is
position. Oh, I mean, if Shetty was talking to Butcher about
to
this.
Butcher, yeah, and he was in that like office position, like someone giving out orders and
Hmm.
stuff. He would probably consider it harder. But when you're a soldier, it means you're used to like you want to get your hands dirty and you want to hurt the people directly you want to hurt, and that's how Butcher is. Butcher wants to like Butcher wants to break people with his hands, and he wants to break their minds with his bad curse words. He doesn't want to put out a war crime disease that is essentially genocidal. Like he's not going to be that person.
I feel like you guys are giving Butcher a lot of credit.
But
Butcher's
Butcher
being
in the
Shetty.
comics will do it. Sorry.
Oh
Oh yes.
Yeah.
no, yeah, I agree with you. I think I just found it interesting that like we're Shetty from last week. We're immediately like, nah, fuck Shetty. Shetty's the devil. I was just like, huh. I don't know if we are okay. I can, even if I concede with you guys that we wouldn't like fully agree with her if she was on the boys. I don't know if we would be like so. How our reactions won't be as visceral, if that makes sense. Because like literally on the boys, it's what, it's Starlight, maybe Queen Maeve. Those are like the superheroes that we're okay with. So like we'll be. I don't know. Anyway, that's just my thing. I was just like, oh, this is quite interesting. That like just the way, because of how she was interacting with the boys, and obviously we get that Butcher name drop. I was like, oh, this is actually it's interesting the way like she's framed based on
A
who
Train,
who our protagonists are. What are you gonna say about E Train? What are you gonna say about E Train?
A Train isn't that bad.
Okay, I mean, he's the reason this whole show started. But okay,
Yeah, yeah, but like that was an accident. It was a mistake. A widow
but that was also
mistake.
because he was on drugs, right?
Yeah, from partying.
Yeah. Is Grace still part of the CIA? I can't remember how her story ended in season 3 of The Boys.
She's still
I
part.
Yeah, she's one of those also like like when you're watching a show like this, there's always like CIA characters that even when they're retired, they're still CIA characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I only mentioned that because she obviously said she tells someone to stay on Shetty, so I assume
yeah.
that would play a part in the
And
in the finale. Not that
I
she
probably
feel
did.
the
like it's
French guy.
probably going to be. Oh fuck! No, sorry.
What are you
I was
doing?
going to say
Are
Frenchie.
you,
I hate
are you
getting
holding
beat to the
yourself? Are you holding
punch.
yourself from swearing on this podcast? You can fucking swear if you want.
What? You guys are edgy. That's cool. But
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, but yeah, Frenchie is the one because he's the surveillance guy, isn't he? And I think he and Mallory get along quite well.
They do get along. That's interesting. I did not honestly. I didn't even consider whether it would be one of the boys. I just thought it to
Yeah.
be like a foot soldier. That's actually um
No, I thought of Frenchie immediately. I was like, they're totally going to give us a Frenchie cameo. And I always assumed that one Frenchie would be the cheapest one to get out of the actual boys to show up.
oh wow. That's
Not
a
in a bad
oh,
way. not in a bad way, but I feel like in like how much it will cost, he's like the most economic, and like they're
Where
going
do
to
you
think
get
about.
fall on Frenchie? Pro Frenchie and Kimiko?
I like
Anti,
Frenchie. I'm okay on their relationship. I'm indifferent.
but you like
Did
him.
their relationship turn sexual? I can't remember.
No, I
No,
think
I don't think it
Oh
ever.
they
yeah,
took it.
yeah.
They took
They took it what?
like we're family, we're buddy buddy.
Yeah, I love that relationship. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's talk about Victoria Marie. We found out that Victoria Neuman is Marie's mysterious benefactor.
and blood sister.
Um, did we know she had that blood power? Well done. Did she know she had that blood power? I don't think we didn't know that, right? Did we?
We knew she could explode heads.
Yeah, and explode body parts actually. She could do anything she's looking at, but we
Yeah,
didn't know
this
Yeah,
she.
is a good
Had,
this is a good explanation for how it works. Honestly,
yeah.
I was
It's a
quite happy with
beautiful
it because
explanation. I was like,
yeah.
I was oh, this makes a lot. Because when she first did it, I'm like, what type of power is this? Like,
Hmm.
I thought it was like telekinesis. I was like, how powerful for you, like, to be so precise to like just blow
yeah,
things up, like.
yeah, blow heads up.
But something because I went back to watch some scenes from season three. I think yeah, season three with Newman, and she needs she needs to be looking at what she's about to blow, which is not a power that we've seen Mary like have.
I think wait, is it okay? Is it
Well,
Mary like is Mary slightly superhuman? Is she like kind of super strong or tough, or is she just
no,
regular?
No,
she's
yeah, I
regular.
don't think we haven't got any kind of strength from her.
Okay,
Mhm.
I was
But like
wondering like
Newman needs to be looking at whatever she's about to blow up, and then her eyes obviously go milky white, and then stuff blows up. So she can't just do it because there's a
What
part
about
in yeah.
what about Mary?
I'm not saying we haven't established that connection for Mary just yet.
Yeah, I mean she's looked at everything. Her eyes
She looked at
don't
everything.
glow,
Yeah.
but also like she's younger with her abilities.
Hmm.
Like within
and this they play fast and loose with this thing, and maybe they don't work exactly the same.
Yeah, it's very possible for her to. Okay, while we're on her power, let's actually because I have some questions. First of all, do we think that's the only reason that Newman is interested in Marie? Just like, are we just going to take out our word that it's just the power thing?
I mean they're both
Well,
women. They both have the same
it's
power
a
sets. They have the same upbringing. Like for her,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
And
both
I'm sure
killed
it's
their
a really
parents.
it's again it's always very useful to have someone like that as an
else
ally
yeah.
because she knows
Yeah.
how powerful like she can be,
hmm
and
Oh,
she
mm-hmm.
might also need a fall guy in the future. But
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that. That's
that
true.
was very good. Okay, so the reason I asked that, and again, I do not believe this theory at all. It's not. It's theory. I'm just something that we need to talk about because it's a podcast and we can't have the episode be 20 minutes. The only people we've seen share powers on this show are family members,
Mm.
offspring. So you have Homelander and Ryan. You have
Mm-hmm.
obviously Andrea and Polarity. You
Mm-hmm.
have Translucent and Maverick, the RA. That's father and son.
Really?
I I did not know that until this week. Yeah, someone mentioned it and I did some research.
really,
Yeah, and then if you go back, because I went back to watch Translucent's funeral, and then Homelander calls him Maverick, calls like Translucent's son Maverick. So yeah,
that's a good catch.
that's father. So
Jeez.
that's not my catch, but but yeah. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
Who caught it for you?
I don't know. I can't shout out other people. Come on. At least
Also,
I said it wasn't my catch.
Sam and Golden Boy.
Yeah, I guess. Although yeah,
They're both superhuman. I hope.
yeah.
Well,
So
Sam
basically,
might manifest fire eventually, sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
I hope not. That's giving the guy too much power. But so my
Yeah.
point being that those are the guys that we've seen actually have similar powers.
Mm.
Dot dot dot.
Mm.
Essentially, like what does that then mean for the fact that Mary and Newman share this power, this very very specific power set? Like I'm
I
not
mean,
saying that. Mhm.
it's
I
just
think,
coincidence, maybe.
yeah. Also, wink, wink. Blood is thicker than water.
Jesus, I need to put in a timeout. I did. I did.
You're not on a roll. That's what I'm going to say. This is not your best work, but I'm going to allow it.
I had to put any time out. Okay, but I mean, so I'm just saying, look, let's just throw it out there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're siblings. I'm not saying they're family. That I think Newman might be Indian. I don't know, but she's definitely Asian.
South Asian.
South Asian, and then obviously Mary is black. So I'm not saying that they're family. I'm just saying maybe there is more to them, or maybe it's just Newman saw somewhere that she could, like Bolu mentioned, she could eventually blame, or she could have as a party, or for now she could
Mm-hmm.
have as a colleague, or maybe she genuinely just felt bad for her. But yeah, just again, this podcast we just throw theories and then we're not really giving any decisions. Marie tells Newman that she has a platform now
Mm-hmm.
that she can use that to do good, which is interesting because, like I said, I went back to watch some of Marie scenes from Newman scenes from season three, and then if you guys remember Tony, the guy that grew up with her at Red River, that was like trying to get in touch with her, he tells her that like she has a platform now and she can talk about Red River. So like it's that's obviously not a coincidence. That's obviously the show being intentional. That like Newman's ideals never change. It's like, look, you don't really have a platform. We do like we're just talking and like we just focus on getting the chasing the bag, getting power. We're not trying to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like Newman also killed her parents. She killed people that lots of parents that adopted her until Stan Edgar adopted her. So like you can definitely see the connections between her and Marie. I think out of all the possible people that could have been Marie's benefactors from the boys, like I'm happy. I think she works. I think something like Stan Edgar would have been a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
This one solves a really cool mystery. Because I actually did wonder for a while like how that powers work. Like it was really bothering me.
Mhm. um, yeah, and then obviously Newman's appearance in the episode ends with her taking the virus, which is deadly but not that contagious, which is I think a very important distinction.
Yeah.
Um, she takes it from the doctor and kills Cardozo. So like
Mm.
I'm assuming that will play back to your point earlier. Like show
I
is
almost
is
felt
in
bad for the
conversation.
doctor as he was talking.
Oh, yeah. At what point you guys know his head was gonna get popped off?
When
Since
she
the
called him,
beginning as they were talking.
Like
it
from the
wasn't
beginning, right?
Like
honest. I could.
I
I mean, yeah, yeah. She's crazy. But like the thing is, I thought she was trying to be careful with him, and
Mm-hmm.
then this woman, she kills people for fun sometimes. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, there's always like a reason, but she's very. I don't think I've seen many villains that kill with the like lack of effort that she does. Killing for her is just it means nothing. It's so
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's untraceable. So there's
So
never any
untraceable.
thoughts behind like there's never
the
any
consequence
fallout
things.
for her. Yeah, like should I kill this person or not? So I was just like, will she kill him? And then when she called him an American hero, I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy is dead. This guy is
No,
dead.
I knew it was there for the job.
It's funny
It's a
because like I knew he
yeah,
was going to say, but I still got like I was still shocked when it happened.
yeah.
Or not shocked as like I can't believe it happened, but like I still jumped a bit just because like
I jumped.
yeah
I jumped.
yeah
I was
like
like,
head
because I was
popping
looking at
is
his
so
head and it was gone. I was like,
like the boys writers they went off in the writers room when they came up with this the idea that she could pop people's heads. Like I remember when it first happened in the boys are having this CIA meeting and people's heads just are blurry. Like what the fuck is going on?
bruh, bruh.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I really like that. Okay, but yeah, she has the virus. I'm sure,
Hmm.
like back to TMT's point about this show possibly being in conversation with the boys and not just their offshoot cousin. Like, I assume she would have that virus in
Hmm.
season four. It'd be very weird if she just doesn't have it. So, and we know Homelander has threatened her.
Hmm.
So, we also know, as we mentioned across the season, that Homelander is probably going to be on trial. So, we'll see how obviously that all plays off when they bring the boys for season four. Any thoughts
So
on Newman before we move on?
yeah, I think there should be an SNL skit on like Newman joining the Justice League, and like the Flash is running around killing people, Batman is doing some weird gadgetry stuff, and Superman is just beasting, Wonder Woman is beasting, Green Lantern is like everyone's going crazy, and Newman is
Yeah.
just sitting there, and then the Flash is like, "Hey Newman, what are your powers? What are you gonna do?" And she's like, "Oh, I can blow up people's heads," and he's like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's my thing." And then she starts blowing up people's heads, and the rest of the Justice League are like visibly disturbed, and they're like,
They
yo,
just
stop
stop.
doing that. She's like, yeah, you're killing them too. You have super strength, Superman. She's like, yeah, but I'm not killing them like you. Yeah, so that would be like the
He
SNL
says
skit.
like the vibes when I kill them are better. Like you're just to bring the party.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of there's this skit in SNL where The Rock attends a supervillain convention. I don't know if you've seen it, and it's like all
As the
these like
Rock.
no, he's like a supervillain, and
Okay.
he's an inventor, and it's like all these cartoony super villainy inventors, and they're all like they're having like an Oscar awards, but it's like for the most
The
villainous
villain.
Sounds like an episode of
inventions.
Harley Quinn. But
Bro,
continue.
it is so funny because like everyone is talking about, oh, I have a freeze ray that'll freeze the entire city. Oh, I have this that'll do this. Like super villain like
Yeah.
shenanigans. And The
Yeah.
Rock comes in with this like ugly ass robot, and um they're like, what's that? And it's like, oh, this is my child molester robot. And all the
That's,
villains
oh, I remember.
and all the villains are like, guy.
This is literally an episode of Harley Quinn. This is literally an episode of Harley Quinn.
All the villains
So
are like, guy. And he's like, what? We're super villains, right?
and they're like, it's like, oh Jesus, it's like when, speaking of Harley Quinn, it's like when, so if you don't watch Harley Quinn, please go watch Harley Quinn. In the
It's
first
so good.
season, Dr. Psycho calls, I guess we're talking about Gen V, so I can use the word. He calls Wonder Woman a cunt. And then like the what they call Legion of Doom come out and like, yeah, we have to
Yeah,
distance ourselves from Dr. Psycho. It's like we're
like,
bad, we're not that bad.
we're baddies, but we're not like sex. It's like that's not how this operates.
And Psycho has to go on this like book tour and like apology tour across all the late night shows. It's just like anyway, what a tangent we've just gone on. Let's go back to Gen V. And speaking of villains, let's talk about the radicalization of Sam.
Man, that hurt me.
Yeah, that
Bully,
was bad.
bully,
That was
bully,
fucking
That was
bad.
painful. That was really painful for me to witness.
Yeah.
I was actually so sad, like, so because
because
I know
Bully,
it's a blank canvas.
you love this guy so much.
I'm like, why would
Because
you do
I
this to
liked him,
me?
but I've mainly liked him because of Emma. But Bully, you liked Sam a lot as a character. And I was like,
Yeah,
imagine some stuff.
yeah, I'm playing, and I'm like, man, this is my favorite. And then the problem is that his background will reflect that because people who've hurt him the most are regular people for the most part.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah.
So I was just like, my pure sons, and this is the problem of being like an almost pure canvas where like anything you take can be. I'm very
Yeah, you can
afraid
just
if
yeah, blank slate, you can take anything. So I buy it. Let me start with that caveat.
I
Like
do. That
like
was
you
why
said, it makes
that's what
sense.
was painful.
But and this is just a bit of concentrating. Was it too easy or too quick? Like if you're gonna criticize anything, did it happen too quickly in the show?
It was a bit fast, but I could definitely like see why it worked on Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Also, I
also feel
don't.
like the show in this episode went through a lot of length to like infantilize Sam a lot this episode.
He is essentially that's the
And
thing.
again, yes, I agree, it worked, but it seemed like they were doing it more so we could believe
Mm.
the the turn. I don't know, TMT, what are your thoughts on the radicalization of Sam?
I don't think he's fully radicalized. So I think it was just
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah. I think first of all, Sam doesn't know these people. Like even that red hat wearing prick, like who has
Yeah.
no prick? Interestingly enough, and is still like walking around like everything is okay in his life. We'll get into
But
that
I
another
was thinking
time.
about this. Surely, has he
That guy's
grow, did he grow back?
like,
Because he's too happy in life for like
yeah,
there's
that
something.
guy should be he should be in the ICU, bro. Like, well, in fairness, she did make him an incel, so it's perfect that he's at a rally like that. Like
Yeah.
he's now involuntarily celibate, so he's just like for life. There's no
Hmm.
coming back for him, so he's just going to be like that. But I don't think. Um, my prediction is that Sam is going to end up killing that guy. That's my prediction.
What, Rufus?
Yeah, because Rufus doesn't have boundaries, man. In a way that is truly spectacular.
Dangerous.
Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he just like the way he manipulated Sam to come with him, not knowing
Mm-hmm.
who Sam was or what he was capable of. It was just like, oh, this guy's fun. Let's roll. And he just
Mm-hmm.
lied so off the cuff, like so easy. I'm just like, this is why you don't have a dick anymore, man. You know, and very soon he's going to say the wrong thing to Sam, and Sam is going to break his fucking. He's going to turn into a muppet, and I'm like, Rufus is looking
Oh
real
no.
muppety right now, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
boy is going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I
But yeah,
don't
just,
think
just
Sam. No, I was going to say I don't think Sam is fully radicalized. I think he's seen a part of that, but if as long as he stays around the main characters, he'll find nuance
I
and all
disagree,
that.
but he straight up said we're better than them. And we're gonna get to that scene, but like he says that
Yeah,
flat out. He
he
says
did
it's
say that.
justice. I I don't think I don't think Emma being the meme of like you're better than this is gonna save him this time.
God.
Yeah, it's definitely good to again, because I said his background will like inform part of the
Yeah,
problem.
he has
As
no reason to come back, quote unquote, to the like yeah, because well, he spent years being tortured.
Yeah.
It makes
Also,
by
like,
sense.
by humans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I think the way I know she's just a teenager as well, you know, a young, stupid person, but the way she handled Sam's sort of, just his care, just leaving him there, like she should have taken him with her. Sam is too
Yeah,
dangerous.
but she can't take him with her because if anybody sees him, what happens next?
Okay, well, look at what happened now. I mean, I guess there was no way for her to know that would happen,
Yeah, she
but
told Sam to
There was
stay.
no
All you had to do
way,
was just stay.
yeah, but
and
it's
she
really
wasn't
odd.
gone
Yeah.
that long to be fair. And he stayed before, I think.
Guys, Sam should be nowhere near a university campus because that guy is impressionable
No,
as
I
fuck.
agree.
He has
Mm,
his growth was obviously stunted by that facility.
mhm.
Emma shouldn't have been having sex with him. I thought that was kind of fucked, but I was happy for them anyway as well. But I just thought it was fucked. But like that guy should not be in the university. He should be at a facility that is basically easing him up for reintegration into society. You
Mm,
know,
fair,
yeah.
but here we are now, about to
Here
get
we are.
Evil Superman times two, which
So,
I guess we can just go straight to the I guess is the penultimate scene, but let's just call it for the final scene for the purposes of this
mm,
discussion, which is Kate, the face off
mm,
at Chet's house. I have in my
That was
notes that Kate has gone full Phoenix because I couldn't think of anything else to describe her turn here. Like
mm.
this had the entire Jean Grey um character arc. And with each passing episode, TMT, your Lucifer color just looks way so prophetic. It's just so vindicated. Um, yeah, man.
Yeah. That wasn't pretty to watch it. It was a tough episode. I mean, it was a very, very good episode. Like it was very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Lots of fights and powers, and even we need to talk about. I mean, before, yeah, I'm going to talk about this guy. What's his name? The magnet guy.
Yeah, we'll talk about not much. We'll talk about him before we leave. Yeah, Andre
Yeah,
and his dad,
yeah.
polarity.
Angel is
Yeah,
dead, But like, um, I have a theory that she's pushing all of
that
that.
was that was a very cool it's not something I've seen regularly in like shows like
well, Andre and his
your
dad.
power. What happened to Andre is that like imagine you being nothing like your power still being on
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
that side of danger. I was like, oh,
but
I don't think
I
I've
mean,
seen this in a show.
Mm.
okay,
Like I've seen
let's
when
just
they can't control it
yeah.
and they're struggling like control it, I can't. No, this was actually like this was like
I hope you guys just heard Bolu's American accent just right there in like 5 seconds. It was
Like, control it.
but
No, I can't.
yeah, we've seen it a million times. And like this is like it was like a cool variation of what we haven't seen before.
yeah. I guess
Bro,
because
it was a
And
seizure. You guys are
it kind
insane.
of yeah, it kind of like up the danger for me. But you get what I mean.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
No,
the
I
yeah
think
that yeah. Go on, go on.
I
I
any
mean
idea what triggered Andre's dad seizure? That was an
so
interesting.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
there could be theories that maybe it's not that Shetty was involved somehow, considering no Shetty hates all superheroes. But at least
Mm.
to me, it looked like a stroke. I don't know, but MTMT just said seizure, so I guess that could be it as well.
Yeah, I
But
think it was
like,
a season.
well, back to your point, Bulu, I guess that's happening because he's still like his brain is still working. He's just not conscious. So his brain is probably like there's still brain activity, and his brain activity is still controlling his powers. Just that things are just
Yep,
going all over the
100%.
place, and it's like, yeah, it's just so funny seeing Andre be like completely outmatched. Like Andre cannot do anything to like to obviously because his dad doesn't have any control of the powers, but just like yeah, Andre could not. I'm surprised they even made it to the hospital
Mhm.
considering that paramedic was going through it. I'm surprised she didn't
Bro,
die.
I thought she was going
Bro,
to die.
bro, the way they hurt her, I was just like, damn,
She's
it's
like,
kind
can
of
you do
crazy.
something, please?
You know, it's crazy. I was
Uh,
not thinking like when it was. I know it's metal they control. I'm just like, damn, the syringes in
mhm.
that bitch probably. And literally, the syringes started flying. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Do you guys remember in I think it was X-Men 2 when Magneto escapes with the metal in people's blood?
yeah, that was a crazy scene,
That
bro.
was an incredible scene.
Yeah,
Um, I keep. Are we just gonna assume like they won't go that far with Andre then? Cause just like that would be a cool if he can do that as well.
it would
I mean, I
also
don't
be
know.
like a combination of Andre and Marie.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember. I remember. Oh god, I remember Magneto just taking the metal out of his blood. That was ridiculous.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking about that because especially this in this scene because like the paramedic started bleeding. Um, but yeah, Andre has to be with his dad, and he's with his dad. That's why he's not at Shetty's house during Kate's mental breakdown. TMT wants to believe that Sam isn't fully radicalized, but having my notes that Kate and Sam being the season's ultimate villains wasn't necessarily on my bingo card.
Yeah, but I was gonna
Right.
say like because Kate is also like not taking the drugs anymore. She's having more access
Hmm.
to her powers, and I
Yeah.
do wonder if she's pushing Shetty or everyone at the same time without touching them to see Shetty die, so she can protect Shetty, but like not kill her.
Huh.
Yeah,
So you think what we've seen so far is not really what
yeah.
happened?
I think it's a mind illusion.
I
That
didn't.
is, I don't know. She doesn't want to kill everyone though.
She doesn't want to kill them, but she wants to save Shetty. That's my theory, Sean.
She,
You don't have to be real,
it,
but that's just how
it's
I feel.
yeah, we're just throwing theories. It's a theory that could work because we see that Shetty says one more push and we don't see what the push is. So this
Yeah,
But
could be
exactly.
Shetty's.
man,
This could be Shetty's plan. But at the same time, it's
okay,
just
but
like, how
no,
do you
Shetty
get
is
out of
determined to
that
kill.
then?
I don't know, but Shetty is determined to kill all of them, and I'm not sure Kate is down for that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what is the middle ground.
I think this is the more interesting story path if Shetty's actually dead and
I felt like
Kate
that,
is
I
going
felt
to
the
be
scene
the
was
villain.
so good. I felt that scene was so good. I felt like it was such a great scene. Like I didn't want Shetty to be like I'm kind of with TMT. Like I kind of like would like Shetty to continue like maybe a season or a season and a half more. Like
Mm-hmm.
I do think like her character had potential, but that scene was so
Oh,
good.
100%. Her character, and I think it's still, like I said, I think
Like
it's a surprise. It's
that
a
Kate scene
shock
was.
if Kate is now the villain of the season, the villain for the finale.
I don't
If,
think
if,
it's
if,
Kate. I don't know. I don't think Kate is. That's true. Who's
well,
going to be the
if
final
everything we've
villain?
seen so far is correct, like if we just throw away TMT's theory for a second, then Kate has to be the villain because Chetty is God. Like they
I
have to
think
go,
it's
there has to be a
something.
villain for the finale.
Well, if she's
I
gone, then
don't
it's going to be
know.
a combination of Shetty and, as I said, Shetty. It's going to be a combination of Kate and Sam.
Exactly, which is on my notes. I have the two strongest superheroes being the villains is a hell of a
Yeah,
battle for our friends
yeah.
to
I
deal
feel
with because
those guys have their
Kate
work
and
cut out for them.
Kate and Sam is I'm sorry, it's impossible. Nobody
Yeah,
can. No, it's not
it's
about
actually
getting your.
impossible.
The only reason I would even support your theory about all of this being not true is because it's impossible for them to fight Kate and Sam. It's just impossible.
Yeah, the
Like
whole
Jordan,
school they would need the seven.
you actually need this because
Yeah,
Jordan, Marie, and Andre could barely handle Goldie Boy,
yeah. And Sam is
and now you're
stronger.
No,
saying Sam and
I
Kate.
think no. I don't know. I think Golden
They
Boy
could
was
have
also like
handled
much
Gold.
more
They could,
serious.
yeah. They couldn't handle Golden Boy. He handled himself.
I,
Yeah, but I think Bolu wants to be like what that. what they were not fighting Golden Boy, like they were not trying to.
I think Mary is much better with the powers now, and I don't know. I felt
Not
like there was a
not good enough for
sense of
Sam. Just
hesitation.
not good. Just not good enough for Sam.
Okay, Sam
Like
is stronger than Golden Boy.
she would need
Sam
to
is
literally
stronger than Golden Boy,
exactly.
Also,
but
And
Sam is very comfortable with killing people, almost as much as
that's
maybe too comfortable.
maybe too comfortable. I would
Maybe
say
too
like
comfortable.
he's
Like he says that they're just puppets. So
yeah, he
like
just has a
maybe
switch in his head, just
yeah, maybe too
killing time.
comfortable.
Like,
Um,
it has to be the seven. It can't be payback or whatever the other team is called.
those
Yeah.
guys
oh
were just
god,
glorified. Those guys were like Soldier
the
Boy is Captain
B-listers.
America. Let's
Oh
respect
my
ourselves here.
god! I just realized that payback is Avengers, like Avenge payback. Oh,
Oh, they said that the baby. They said the Avengers
I,
are essentially the B-listers.
I actually
To
never
be
caught that. I
that
actually
kind
never
of
caught.
adds up. Yeah, they like it just. I mean,
I never caught that payback on Avengers. Fair enough.
yeah, that's gross. I mean, you know, the seven being Justice League, that makes sense because you know they just
Hmm.
based on the power sets. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I never really knew who was in payback, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, it's the Avengers. Okay,
yeah.
payback.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Um, but your theory, TMT, is I guess well. So we have two possible paths to go on. Again, it's funny because when back in what was the episode 4 when it
Mm-hmm.
ended with that sharp edit,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a theory of was it Rufus? You mentioned that you don't think the show does that. The show is very like what you're seeing is the truth, and we're not giving any surprise next episode. So, but now you obviously you're coming with this theory,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to guess if I would feel betrayed if next episode it was like, oh, all of that was just her pushing because Marie especially has gone through so much in this scene. Like she has
yeah,
to witness this again.
it was such a good scene. Like I was like, man, like this was like. Well, I'm sure when she was done, like she looked at the camera, was like, obviously this is the boy, and people don't take it serious. But I'm sure like she felt like this was like her Emmy scene. Like when she was begging, I'm like, she was like, yeah, I'm not going to get nominated, but like
I
if
mean, you
was
say
that
that, but
For your consideration.
for your consideration,
yeah,
I mean, you said
exactly.
that, but the boy is Emmy nominated best drama series for season 2. Let's not.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
time when things were happening. Season 2 is best drama series nominee.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I They can explain it. Let me put it this way. Like your theory of TMT, I don't think is like unfounded. I think it can be explained that this is that she's pushing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
But
want to
I'm
see
trying to
that though.
understand. Like I'm trying to know if I don't know. My brain is running whether I would like it. I guess we'll see. Again, I just don't know what's the way out. If that's the case, like then how do the kids find? I guess again, all these things can happen. Like this show has
Yeah,
been so good for 7 episodes
yeah, it's also a show with a lot of
and been so
moving
smart.
parts.
Yeah,
So there's no point trying to conceptualize it. Let's just enjoy the ride. So the
I've
next
really
episode is the
enjoyed the
last
show.
one, right?
Last one finale. Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
titled The Guardians of Godolkin. So
nice, 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 nice.
Guardians to be so that's specific. There's an S.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a goddamn motherfucker.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the fact that Godolkin is basically that one scene in Get Out, in which they just have an institution just to study superheroes under the
Just to,
guise of
yeah,
like you're coming in which is so fucking wild. It's so wild.
it's
That makes
wild.
no
Yeah.
sense.
It's ex- it's the Xavier Institute.
Yeah, but just to study mutants, not even like not we don't care about. It's only a front. That's so
Yeah,
hilarious to me.
it's insane.
Oh my god. And it's just like every dean or every member of staff is just told this every time they're inducted. Just
Just really
have to,
complicit.
yeah, you just have to act like you like this student, even though you hate their guts. So I would love to see the Godokin whistleblower. The guys like the guy that goes on what's their show NNT or whatever, and it's like, yeah,
Bruh,
this is what's happening in Godokin.
bruh. I'm sure they
I've
just
really
have a
enjoyed this
split.
show.
I'm sure they have like a division of stuff where it's like essential stuff and non-essential stuff, and then the non-essential stuff is like a tenured professor teaching superhero martial arts or something who has no idea what's happening
Yeah,
beneath the shoe.
but then like
Yeah,
the 4 5 guys, the Dean, Brink, those guys like they know what's really happening. They know
yeah,
what they're
yeah.
there for. They probably have their like their clan meetings. Um, I've enjoyed this show. I've never felt bored, which is the main thing I wanted from this show. I wanted this show to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
back to Bolu's point, I wasn't looking for like Emmy winners. I just wanted to have a fun time watching, and I think I've had it very fun. Again, I have I like every character on this show. I'm rooting for it. If you told me this was Andre's episode, Andre's flashback episode, or Emma's flash, I'd like, okay, that's fine. Let's show me. Like it's
Yeah.
funny, like, and I'm this is obviously I'm not just saying this because, but like the person I've liked the least is Kate,
Mm-hmm.
and so like it
She's the
probably,
least likable.
yeah, even before all of this, it makes sense that she will have this heel turn. So like I don't know, but even at that, even before then, I was like, oh, here we spoke about last week's episode how it really helped us like get into Kate's mindset, and we were like, oh wow, this is actually you've actually
Mm-hmm.
been groomed for this long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know, I love this episode. I just really like the show. I think what they did in that town hall with Newman again, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how did these guys become the
With,
right.
with with the what's his name, the Tucker Carlson or
Yeah,
the
the
Vought universe. Yeah.
Coleman,
I think
Cameron Coleman, I think is his
I
name.
think
Yeah.
again, it's not all soups. It's again, he brought it. He has a specific audience that he resonates with, and those that's who showed up.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right, but I mean, Vought is Fox. Like Vought News is Fox News. That's established in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously not all. Jesus Christ, I can't believe Bolo just made me say not all soups. Hashtag not all soup. Not all soups like are on the right, but I think it seems like majority of them are, or like I don't know,
Yeah. If I had powers
because
too, and I was trying to remove the limits on them, I
yeah.
would be on the right. Yeah. I'll be in there with
Do you
that
guys think
MAGA hat.
Homelander is actually going to go to court for his trial?
Kangaroo court. He's going to fly in. I'll fly out the moment they start
Yeah, I think
talking
it's best.
rubbish. Yeah, it's free that fever.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm very intrigued for what they have in store for season four. Like the fact that they're able to like give out this kind of tidbits about this Homelander trial is, especially is interesting for what
They
they have planned
definitely
for season
are showing
four.
that this was a big like. I knew it was the boys' universe, but this episode was a big like. I would say an ad per se, but it was a big reminder that oh yeah,
Yeah, but
This was
it's
the episode
also
that you were like, oh, you should have watched the boys to like
yeah,
fully appreciate everything that's going to happen on this episode.
yeah, and it's
Because
also like
new,
the
yeah,
funny enough, it's also the episode where it's like the show is like, nah, I'm my own guy as well. Like, trust me, like I'm
do
giving you
it at the same
things.
time.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like if you haven't watched the boys and you're watching this episode after watching all seven, you're like, oh, this is like you lose maybe 5%, but that 5% is like is important to us because like we know what Newman is and that all of these little things mean more to us. We know Mallory mentions Butcher and all of that stuff. But yeah, I think again it's weird. But I guess no, it's actually not weird because it's what you want from a cinematic universe. Like Gen V works on its own, but also it's just it feels better when you watch the boys.
yeah,
But if you
hundred
haven't
percent.
watched the boys, it's completely its own thing. It works on its own. It's people are gonna have their arguments about which one they prefer, the boys season one or Gen V season one or whatever. Um,
Mm.
any final thoughts before we leave?
No, 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 no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no,
I'm enjoying
no.
it. I'm kind of curious. Um, I'm kind of
Hmm.
curious, like the final episode.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been be disappointing if you weren't.
Yeah,
But
I'm a bit like no. Normally, I'm very good at like knowing the beats of where a show is going.
yeah,
This one, I'm kind of like I'm really not sure where the finale is actually going to go, and in a good way. I've
yeah,
watched a lot of TV, so I kind of like usually can tell where finale like the beats are going. I'm very like okay. Obviously some things are going to come to a head, but like how it plays out, I have no idea, and it's a very interesting
yeah.
space for me.
Yeah, I mean, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I mentioned about how I was like, I wasn't really sure what a second season would look like just because of how the season was shaping up. And I was like, are they going to go against Shetty? Again, back then I thought Shetty was going to be the ultimate villain. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm very intrigued. You're right. I don't really know where things go with this. Um, Bolu, your article was on, yeah, I remember this now. Yeah, because I had it bookmarked. Yeah, the importance of African countries. being careful on wading to other countries' disputes.
Oh, that okay. I mean, I'm glad you plugged me. Let me not sound so ungrateful. Sorry, it just feels like a very strong segue from like, oh,
I
Gen
don't.
V.
Did you not? No, it wasn't Gen V. It wasn't during the admin part. Did you not
Yeah,
write it?
yeah, I did. It just feels
Uh huh.
like my mind was so far removed from it
What
that
you're saying is that you feel like it's too smart and too highbrow for Gen V on this podcast.
I feel it's
You
more
think
like
you're better than Poco for
unrelated.
dinner? Is that what you're saying?
I it's
Or problem
again,
man?
it's like going to a barber shop and then asking for like chicken. I'm like, yes, I like chicken, but like this is a fucking barber shop. Like
If
that's
I go
how
to
unrelated I feel it is.
if I go to a
I
barber
don't think
shop
it's
and
better. I just think it's unrelated. Mm.
my barber is Colonel Sanders, I would ask for chicken as well. Like it
That's
doesn't matter if it's a
weird
barber
because
shop or
there's a
not.
lot of hair in the barber shop. That's why I went barber shop because
No,
again the
it
hair makes
doesn't
it.
have to have hair
But
on the like. He
the
can just make the
the
chicken in
point
the
is
back.
that this is a very strong segue. Anyhow, back to Gen V. But thank you for plugging my article. I actually do appreciate that. And it'd be nice
What's
if
the
you
article
guys
about?
read it.
Tell the listeners, and I'll put a link in the description.
The article is about different African countries being careful of geopolitical ramifications of just carelessly interfering into other countries' issues. You know,
TMT,
on the behest of other
TMT.
countries. It's
Why does he think
it's
he's so
it's a cool
smart?
article, but
Like, why is he using big words like geo? Sorry, continue. Oh, could you hear me? I thought I was whispering to TMT.
My man said
Um,
geopolitical, man. What's that? What's
yes,
that word, man? What's that word mean?
ramifications. Jeez.
It's
Oh
crazy,
my god.
fam.
Yes,
Speak
thesaurus.
Spanish.
Jesus.
This nigga smart, bro. this nigga smart.
Um,
Oh my god. No,
but yeah,
also it
yeah.
feels good to not be the one throwing this podcast off the rails for once.
And who was the person that did it?
It was you.
How how dare you?
Yeah,
How
I'm proud
dare you
of
say
it.
such a thing? Thank
The
you.
student has become the master. Well, I went to read the
Okay.
fuck out of that article, by the way. It sounds really dope.
thanks.
Because I remember, like,
I,
when, like, there's people in my group chats, that, like, whenever countries are having, like, issues, I was like, listen, man, both of these countries hate black people. Let's just,
this is how.
mind, let's just sit it out. So, yeah, I like doing
Um.
this.
Okay. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for listening. We're gonna be back next week talking about the finale of Gen V, which is also Gen V finale day is also Invincible premiere day. So Amazon Prime is
Mhm.
gonna have a great day that day. Um.
They're
But
doing
please,
really
please,
well.
please, they are doing very well. Well, at least for this period. Oh, are we
Mm.
praising Amazon Prime? No, let's calm down. Um,
You mean Vault International?
yes. But no, thank you very much for guys for listening. Thank you again to my co-hosts who have been with me for a month plus, and we're about to approach the finale, which has been a very fun show. Um, Bolu had his heart broken this week by Sam's radicalisation. Um,
Potential.
Maria and Jordan continue to be cute. It seems like I don't know. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. Join us next week when we'll be talking more Gen V and the finale with Oscar winner, director of the upcoming film The Kitchen, Daniel Kaluuya. Bye, guys.
I hope one day he hears this. Oddly enough, on this board, I don't know how, but I hope he hears this one day, just randomly.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what
The,
his bank is hoping as well.
I'm crying. That is his gamble. That's impressive.
Yes.
That
Oh,
wasn't
good
how it
luck.
started, but you know what? If that happens, that
It just
happens.
evolved into that. But yeah,